What's up, everybody? Welcome to this episode of the Addison Gaming Podcast, the show where we talk about the games we want to whenever they came out, because that's what we're playing. We'll talk old stuff, we'll talk new stuff, we'll talk everything in between. I am your host, WckdGmrUK Allen, but on this episode, you can call me exhausted, because it has been a year of playing a lot of video games, and boy, oh boy, am I tired. And as always, I am joined by the most amazing co-host in the world, Mike Malldee, a.k.a. everyone's vote for most amazing co-host of the year.
Whoa!
How you doing, Mike?
Oh, I'm honored. I just wanted to thank all the little people out there for this award and such as...
Yeah, the award's in the mail, Mike. It'll get there
Okay,
at some
good.
point or another. So sorry it couldn't get there, but by the time we recorded this episode.
It's fine. Royal Mail takes their time.
Yeah, and you didn't get it in before the cutoff before the holiday festive season and all that.
No worries.
That's okay. Yeah, just keep an eye out for that. And then one day when you finally get it, you can share it with all of us. How you been, Mike? It's the end of the year. We've made it. How you feeling? How you doing?
You know, I played a lot of games this year I never thought I would play, just because of this podcast, basically. I've always had these games. I'll play it eventually, but then doing this has really forced me, like, okay, get into that backlog, start playing more games, and I'm better for it, I think. My thumbs are sore, but I really have been enjoying it.
Yes, it has been absolutely. I realized, when like it's the Switch home screen, you have to like scroll over for each tile, and then you get to the last one, and it opens up all your games.
And then you see like, oh, I have 1,000.
Yes, exactly. That's what this year has been for me. It's like, oh shit, I did buy that game. I need to play it so I could talk about it one day. Yeah. Spoiled little brat who has got everything he wants and doesn't even realize he's got all that he wants. That's me, by the way.
And me.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm not going to say it, but if you want to call yourself a brat. I mean, it was the summer of brat.
I mean,
this year, wasn't it? Yeah.
Last
I
year.
guess last year. Oh, I'm no longer brat. If I don't know when summer of brat was, then I was never brat.
You were never brat. I'm sorry.
Whatever. But we're not here to talk about brat because that was so 2024. What are we here to do, Mike?
Today, we are we are giving our Game of the Year awards. Not to games that came out this year, but to games we played this year, no matter when they came out. And because that's what we're playing. And so we are rating them based on what we played and how we liked them and different mechanics and what games overall were our favorites.
Yeah.
For 2025.
2025. I love it. And I've been really excited, like, to sit down and think about, we just quickly came up with different categories that we want to, just talk about when we'll name them as we go through. But I was going through and making my list. I just like you, Mike, I was like, man, I did play a lot of games this year. And I've actually had quite a lot of fun doing it and thinking about it from a critical lens, not just like playing a game and going like, oh, that was nice. And then thinking about, I want to either write a review or I want to talk about it on the podcast or whatever. So, yeah, and it was actually kind of hard for me to choose some of these things. I don't know what it was like for you when you were going through your list, but some of them I had to really dig deep and go, I'm going to choose this one and then make the decision.
Yeah, it is hard because I like all these games that I've played had like a special meaning to me at some point or I hated. But I didn't really hate any game. Some I liked better than others, and and they're all vastly different. So how can I choose like a farm simulator over an open world craziness? And then I don't know. But I did come to a conclusion of what I kept going back to. And that's how I kind of like, okay, this is probably the best game for me.
Yeah.
This year.
When you put it that way, it is like, I mean, look, like, how do you compare something like a Balatro or Balatro, I think it's pronounced Balatro, with a Assassin's Creed Shadows or something like that, right? Because they're some completely different games, but yet they all fall under the umbrella of video games, and they're all there to like help entertain you or give you a puzzle or whatever. And it's just magical, this whole gaming world of how different it can all be and how much variety there is. And so it's a lot of fun just trying to like come up with the choices that you have to come up with with our very scientific and thoughtful list of, of,
Yes.
of things that we're going to
Checks
do.
and balances.
Before we get into our list, I just wanted to do a couple of honorable mentions
Ooh,
for some games because I don't, and if they are on my list, it's that, or they didn't make it on my list. I can't remember. But, anyways, just ones that really stood out when I was going through. Remember, Mike, we played and talked about Limbo this year. I had a lot of fun
limbo.
with that one. Yeah, that was great. Unpacking, I played that one at the very start of this year. That's
I
the
hate
one that's.
unpacking.
Do you hate it? Like
Like
in real
after a
life or the game?
vacation.
Oh, no, no, no. So this one is all about like moving through your life. So basically, you start off in your room and it's all just like pixelated graphics, and you have to like unpack your boxes and move into your childhood room. And then you fast forward another 10 years or whatever. And it's throughout this character's life. And you have to like set up it's something I think you actually might like a lot. I feel like it's a very Malldee game. You should check it
Is
out.
it?
Yes, Unpacking.
Okay.
Metroid Zero Mission, played that
Ooh.
this year. Yeah, that was really good, really great. That was getting in the run up to Metroid Obby. And then Blueprints. That was
Oh
the
yeah.
secret, like, the one that stealthily came into my life towards the end of the year. That just has like I've been really thinking about it a lot. So I think that a couple of them make my list, but not in any sort of meaningful way. But
Gotcha.
yeah, good games. Do you have any honorable mentions, Mike, that you want to talk
Honorable
about before we get into it?
mentions. I mean, I just have a list.
Cool.
Um, okay, well, honorable mentions is I dove into a lot of arcade games this year, like
Mm-hmm.
emulating them. And the biggest one I really enjoyed going back to play was the Simpsons arcade beat 'em up game. And
Yes.
because of save states and unlimited lives or game overs or whatever, I was
Mm-hmm.
able to finally complete and actually see the whole story. And I really enjoyed it. It took me about 40 minutes, but it
Yep.
was so satisfying to finish. So honorable mentions to the Simpsons arcade game.
Nice.
I remember talking about the X-Men arcade game,
Great game.
and that one's so hard actually,
So good
because
too.
it is good, but it was really hard
Yeah.
to beat because, like, you die so quickly in that one. Uh, but yeah, honorable mention to the arcade games of our past.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I guess I did play The Last of Us 1 and 2 this year. I've played 1
Cool.
before, and I've never played 2 until now, and, but I played 1 again, and I just remember how good 1 was. Such a good game. It's not long, but it's also not short,
Mm-hmm.
and so honorable mention to those ones. I really did enjoy diving back into those because I love zombies, and, but yeah, that's a good honorable mention.
Nice. Some good games there. Yeah, the Simpsons game, man. That was quarter after quarter after quarter after quarter.
Mhm.
Could have had. I probably could have saved up for a good like year's worth of college for the amount
Right?
that I spent on on the Simpsons and Turtles in Time with all those quarters. But hey, we had a good time. So there you go. Okay, so some good honorable mentions. Let's get into our lists, Mike. And we're gonna go backwards. We have 12 categories. And our first category, and these are in no particular order, but obviously ending with game of the year because you have to.
Yes.
Um, but number 12 is best music.
Ooh.
What was your game for best music of this year?
Okay, so best music, I think, hands down for me, would have been where is it? South of Midnight. I think it
Mm-hmm.
had some of the best
Yes.
lyrics, the best original songs.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't just background music either. It was like there was actual meaning to the songs, and I thought it was very, creative, and I think
Yeah.
South of Midnight, hands down, is probably the best music. Even though a lot of these games on here have great music, like
Mm-hmm.
Metroid and, where am I? Tunic had great music in it as well.
Yep.
Story of Seasons is very addicting. It's always in your head. Do 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 the song. But as in like actual like creativity and talent, I think South of
Yeah.
Midnight.
And that one is so good because as you mentioned that like the lyrics are like help tell the story, and the style of music was really like from the world the story is set in, right?
Exactly.
And that sort of Bayou South, Louisiana.
And then
So they
turned into
really,
jazz.
it just so good.
So good.
Yeah, really lifted that. That's a really good choice, Mike. I love that. For me, best music, it was Sword of the Sea.
Mm.
I think there it was just So good. That one I keep finding myself like putting it on in the background as I work throughout the day. It's just so wonderful in all of its, kind of its variety. It's very orchestral in nature. And it really kind of amplified the experience, in the way that video game music should really not necessarily like overtake the experience, but it should really like really be in sync with what the gameplay's doing, like trying to tell the story. And it had a big task because in Sword of the Sea, there was no kind of, a story given on a plate similar to like in the way that South of Midnight, they very much tell you the story as you
Exactly.
go through. This one had none of that. So the music had to really kind of draw your attention to certain things throughout the game and to really kind of do a lot of heavy lifting in terms of the emotional stuff that you were going through. So great stuff. Sort of the Sea. Listen to it. What's next, Mike? What's next on the list?
Oh, I don't have the categories
Oh,
open.
I got it.
You're
I
in
got you. I
charge of
got you. I
that.
got you. Okay. I will do your categories. Next on the list is best hottie in a game. Who is the best hottie
Let
for
me
your
correct myself.
games?
I don't have the order of the categories. I just
Oh,
have
yeah,
what
yeah,
I
yeah. Okay.
listed.
Cool.
Okay.
All right.
So you first.
My hottie, hands down, is Kay Vess from Star Wars Outlaws.
Oh.
She just oozes vibes and energy. I love her haircut. She's just like that kind of cool person, but also just knows that she's cool, which makes her even hotter. So,
Mhm.
and she don't give a shit. Like, yeah, she's wounded. She's got her problems, right? She's got a past, so all of those things for me, just man, she's just a hot character, and I just felt like a badass playing as her. She really nailed. She killed it. She killed
Kilt
it.
it.
Yes. Who about you? Who was your big hottie?
My big hottie, I was a toss-up here between Bayonetta
Mm.
and Zagreus from Hades.
Ooh.
So I went with Zagreus,
Okay. Cool.
but, he's just a sprite on there. Not really a sprite, it's more a little artwork than that, but it was the drawings and just he himself and his voice acting and his
Mm-hmm.
mannerisms and just the way he carried himself. I was just like, "Oh, I'm in love with you." I just really loved him, and so he's just a cool character and very kind-natured as well, and I don't know, it's just I loved him. I loved playing him as a character, and I was happy that he was the main character and I was able to control him.
Well, oh, easy, easy,
Control him the
easy.
way not the way I wanted to, but, I played with the joystick.
there. Oh my days. The the thing about a character and good character design, and somebody that you go like, oh, I want to be you. Like you really, I just love that when they can
No,
nail
yeah.
that kind of thing with a character. Or maybe I don't want to be you, but also like I just am really drawn to you as a character. And if it's just based on looks, cool. That's always a reason. But if it's also like if they can get all the other elements around it, like you know the
It was a
story or the
trifecta.
yeah, all of that. It's
It
it's
was the
just
voice, it was the looks, it was
oh,
how he
okay.
treated others, it was
Oh,
everything. It was just
oh,
like, checked all my boxes,
okay. All right. Get you a Zagreus. I hope everybody out there
right?
listening gets themselves a Zagreus if you ain't got one. Go
It
get you one. All right. So next category is what were the best graphics for a game you played this year, Mike?
okay, so best graphics. It just I have 3 games, Donkey Kong Bonanza,
Mm-hmm.
Mario Kart.
Mm-hmm.
Just I say this because it's cartoony Mario Kart, but it looked so good. But also, it's not gonna win for me. And then Cyberpunk 2077, granted, I know it's an old game, but it looks
Don't matter.
incredible on the
That
Switch
game looks
2.
so good. Yeah.
It looks incredible and runs so smoothly on the Switch 2, and
Mm-hmm.
the graphics, so I would say best graphics for me this year, they all had great graphics, but Switch 2, Cyberpunk 2077,
Nice. Yeah, and just sidebar,
and Metroid, yeah.
we're recording this a couple days before, the Christmas Day, holiday, and yesterday on the 22nd of December, and one of the Discords that I'm in, there was this whole, like, thing of being like, "Cyberpunk 2077 is only $17.50 on the US eShop," and everybody was like, "What?" And I went to look, and I was like, "Oh, should I get it?" and I ummed and awed, but I've got it already on like PlayStation 5 and on the Xbox. I was like, Ellen, don't spend, more money on this game again. And it turns out that it was a mistake because this morning it was back to $70 and there was like, oh,
70.
it's $69.99,
Oh my God.
$69.99. And it was
Digitally?
digitally, yeah. And there were articles being like, that was a mistake. They did not mean that. So if you were lucky enough to get Cyberpunk
You should
2077
have
for
just bought. I would have just bought it.
$17.50, well, you know
I
what?
should have just went on there and bought it so I can stop switching out the cartridges.
Well, part of, I mean, this is spoiler alert for next year. I'm doing my best to like not just buy a game just to buy it because it's
Mm.
like, oh, it's on sale. Because it's like that whole point I was making earlier that I've got all these games on my Switch that I forget that they're there. So I'm really trying to just not be so like, trigger happy on purchasing things. So I didn't do it, and I've already got it other places, and it's fine.
It's
I'm
pro-
still fine. I'm still fine. Anyways, yeah, good choice. Best graphics. And
For
I'm really
you?
curious. For me, best graphics of this year that I played, South of Midnight. I just loved the style, the
Like
way
the
that it was this,
claymation,
yeah, the stop motion
stop motion, I mean.
animation. Yeah, and it almost had painterly looks to it in a
Mhm.
way. But it just really drew me in. It really spoke to me, and I just kept going like, what's the next world going to look like? Or how they were really able to like give so much emotion. So, because I think the thing about South of Midnight, because it's dealing with a lot of like really like intense themes in terms
Mhm.
of loss and slavery and all these kind of really heavy deep themes. The way that they chose to do the art style, I think, was a really smart choice because it's it I think it allowed a little bit more of not a distance from the themes, but if they went for like a realistic art style, it would almost feel too
Too
much in a
heavy.
way. Yeah. So I think they allowed to really tell a deep and meaningful story by using this art style. It just looks fucking cool. I want more of that. More of that, please.
It was great, and that was I did consider that
Mm-hmm.
as I didn't consider it for best graphics, but I considered it for I don't think this was a category, but for like best like art in a
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. Art
Because
direction.
graphic is
Yeah.
different than artistry.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah. This one is kind of the whole encompassing
Mhm.
art direction, all that kind of good stuff. So cool. Okay. Next on the list is the game that I wanted to play but didn't, but I will play next year. The
Mm.
game that I wanted to play this year, but I didn't, but I will play next year.
There's so many.
Every game in the
So
world
many.
should be on this list, right? Shall I go first? I'll go
Yeah, go
first.
ahead.
I really had on my list that I was going to get to this year, but I didn't. Final Fantasy VI from the Super Nintendo.
Oh.
It's one that I keep meaning like this year I'm going to play Final Fantasy VI. This year I'm going to play Final Fantasy VI because I think it's one of the classics that everybody just goes, it's the best one. You've got to play it. I started it when I got the Super Nintendo Classic Mini. Remember when that was all the craze, those little mini things, and played like the first, I don't know, 45 minutes or so, and then I don't have the mini here anymore.
Mm.
So I'm gonna buy it. I think it's actually on sale at the moment on the eShop. So I'm gonna buy it, and then I am definitely gonna play that next year. So I'm committed to it. Listeners, you can hold me accountable. What about you, Mike?
So, I have so many. So one game there's no regret not playing, but one game I want to get to. I have Clair Obscure on here,
Mm,
uh, but I just I don't know. I'm not sure yet. I just know it one game of the year, and so I'm like, okay, well, let me see what the big hype's about, and
sure.
all the hype's about. And then I have Blueprints on here. Uh,
Mm-hmm. Two good ones.
Sword of the Sea is on here. Split Fiction is on here. Assassin's Creed is on here. But I think the one I will go
Gosh,
to
so
and
many good
actually
games.
play is Hades 2.
Cool.
I haven't done it
Yes.
yet, and it's one of the ones I was looking forward to. I just
Yeah.
haven't got around to it.
And you're a huge Hades fan. You really
Yes.
rave about that
And
game.
that
Yeah.
one, I think since I own Hades 1 in the
Uh-huh.
eShop, I might buy that one in the eShop because I believe it's on sale or will go on sale. So,
I think so, yeah. It's a good time of the year to be buying games because
yeah,
everything, they finally go back to like normal prices and not like, $900 each.
900.
Okay, so you're gonna play Hades
I
2.
believe so.
I'm definitely gonna play Final Fantasy 6 at some point. So yeah, we gotta make sure to if we get to this same episode next year and we haven't done that,
Oh
then
gosh.
shame on us. Shame. Shame. Um, okay, so number 8 on our list of categories is the biggest surprise you had in gaming, biggest surprise, and this could be anything. It doesn't, it's up for you to interpret. What's
Oh,
your biggest surprise that
I thought it
you
was
had?
like what game surprised us the most? Like you didn't
Yeah.
think you would like it, but it really
Oh,
got
that's
you.
how I interpreted it. But as I was
Okay,
reading it, I suddenly went, "Oh, it could be for anything." But yeah, but let's do that one. So it's biggest surprise for a game that you didn't know you were gonna like as much as you liked it, or something like
exactly.
that. Okay, fine, great.
That's what
Go
I
for it.
thought.
Okay.
Tunic. I
Yes,
didn't think
great one.
I didn't think I would I wasn't sure if I was gonna like Tunic or not, just the graphics were just cute, and
Yeah.
he was kinda it was silly, and then they were like, "There's no words," I was like, "What? How does it tell a story?" And then I was like, "This is the most
Mhm.
amazing story I've ever." I was just it's like, what it's up there with, for me, South of Midnight, like, this story,
Yeah.
you don't know, like, I don't know how to explain it. There's
Mhm.
the story is all told by you by just visually experiencing and playing the game, but no words, and it's just
Mhm.
I just thought that was really cool and unique, and
Yep.
it really tugged at my heart. I loved it.
Yeah. I mean, that's such a good game. I mean, if you haven't, we don't need to go over it because we've got the episode where you can go and
Yes, great
listen
game.
to us breaking it down and talking about everything. Just such a good game, and one that like it it was a game all about surprises, right?
Mhm,
I mean, literally, like, you didn't know anything, you had to discover as you went along, you had to put the clues together, and there was always another little nook and cranny or thing for you to find,
mhm.
or, a way to connect the worlds together and stuff. It was really well executed.
It's
Um,
beautiful.
so beautiful, so beautiful. For me, my biggest surprise for a game that I've really loved, but didn't expect to love as much as I have, is Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Mm,
I don't really, didn't really have a lot of expectation going into this game. And I will pick up like Ubisoft games because they always go on sale and you can get them for like, less than half price, which is
that's
for
good.
me, it feels like a great bargain because you've got so many hours of gameplay. But the game is good, and I've been, really thoroughly impressed with this one. I think they're back on really good form, and I just, I hope everybody out there that is even vaguely Assassin's Creed Shadows curious scratches that itch and checks it out because I think you
I
might be
am
surprised too.
curious.
Ooh, okay. Get your curio on, get you in there. Okay. On the opposite end of biggest surprise, what's our biggest letdown in gaming this year? What is our biggest letdown in gaming this year?
Well, where do I begin? I have 2 letdowns, but one's bigger than the other.
Go on.
Um, Metroid Prime 4
Yep.
and Mario Kart World.
Okay. Okay.
I would say Mario Kart World is a bigger letdown than Metroid Prime 4 for
Mm-hmm.
several reasons. Mario Kart World seemed to promise this huge open world, and it just seemed like there'd be so much adventure and things to explore, but then again, it really wasn't.
Yep.
And it was just dead. It was a dead open world.
Yep.
And Metroid Prime 4 delivered on my gameplay, but I just had such high expectations for it that it didn't
Mm-hmm.
meet those expectations, so I kind
Yep.
of rated it unfairly, I think, because
Uh-huh.
of my expectations. Um, but with Mario Kart, where I've never been a huge Mario Kart fan,
Sure.
always enjoyed them, but this one is the least I've enjoyed a Mario Kart game.
Yeah.
So I would say my biggest letdown, because I always thought like, "Oh, Mario Kart, I'll just buy it because it's always gonna be fun." This one
Yeah.
I was like, I'm over it."
Yeah.
And also for
Uh
the price.
I mean, luckily, we got it as part of the bundle, I think. But
Exactly.
like, and exact same vote for that for me too, Mike. Mario Kart World, let down, let down, let down. All
Big
the things you
letdown.
said, and just to add a little bit is that it, there. I mean, the excitement for getting the Switch and finally have Switch 2, sorry, and finally having it there, and then within like that excitement it was obviously still there, but then when I finally got my hands on my Switch 2, that whole saga.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then like literally like after about 3 hours of playing Mario Kart World, I was like, I don't like this game. I was like, I'm not having fun. And it kind of really took the shine off the new toy. I was like,
Mhm.
oh man. And I plowed on through it and got through the Rainbow Road. I have not played it again. And I don't really think I will. I actually might even delete it off my system because it's just taking up space. What am I gonna do? Why do I have it on there? That's how
Yeah.
big of a disappointment you are, Mario. Get out of here, Mario Kart World.
Yeah, I do find myself jumping into it when I'm bored. I'm just gonna
Okay.
go in there and do a run really quick, and then I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's fun, I
Yeah.
guess." I don't know. I like to. I give giving it a chance still, and I'm hoping. I don't know. Maybe they'll come up with something to make that world a little better.
Yeah. I think so. I think look, they're writing all it helps sell Switch 2, right? It's
Hmm.
it's the attach rate's amazing, and it by all accounts, it's a good game, right? You're gonna have fun playing it, and it's always got replayability, and I think it will be a game they support for quite a long time that they're gonna
Yeah,
build DLC into, but for me, it was just really shockingly disappointing this year, so
shockingly.
okay, from biggest letdown, we're moving on to game we had the most fun playing this year. What was the game you had the most fun playing this year?
Ooh, what did I have the most fun playing? Like, I just wanted to keep going back to it. There's several.
Mhm.
I think I had the most fun playing Donkey Kong Bonanza.
It was a good
It
one.
was really
Yeah,
fun.
yeah.
Yeah, Donkey Kong Bonanza had the most fun playing. South of Midnight, I enjoyed playing, but I don't think it was fun. The game wasn't fun because the fighting mechanics were boring. Uh,
Mm,
but it
yeah,
was, but I wasn't playing for the fighting. I was playing that game for the story. So,
yeah,
uh,
yeah.
I think Donkey Kong Bonanza, hands down, I had the most fun playing.
Okay. I had, super fun. Like, I mean, just smash it's great, isn't it?
Hmm.
I had the most fun playing Sword of Sea this year.
Oh yeah.
I just from the second I picked it up all the way through to completing it, and then jumping back in to continue just flying around the world on your sword, doing great tricks, seeing that world being brought back to life. Just it was just pure joy. Just it was just a fun game to play. No no friction to getting to the fun part, right? You simply just picked up the controller and you were right in there playing. You didn't have to do tutorials. You didn't have to orientate yourself to controller layout or anything. It was just pure fun from start to finish for me. So lots of good stuff.
Amazing. That is on my list. So
Mhm.
I'll have to check it out.
You do. All right, next one is who was the best character you played as this year in a
Oh, I didn't
game?
like that one.
Did
Because it's
I'll go
kind of
for
like I would
go
just
on.
give it to Zagreus again, but then again, that's only because like him.
Because you fancy him, that's right, yeah.
I think the best character though, like best storyline. Hmm, I do not know to tell you the truth. I'm really bad. I'm gonna say V from Cyberpunk 2077 because
It's
at
a good
first
one.
I didn't understand the story. I had no idea what was going on. I had no idea what I
Mhm.
was doing. I almost actually stopped. But then finally, when Keanu Reeves came in, I was like, "What is going on?" And then I sort of was
Mhm.
intrigued, and now I'm like completely enthralled with this story,
Yeah.
and I really do enjoy it.
Yeah. V is a good character in the sense that it's more of like an avatar for yourself, right? You
Hmm.
sort of you are a fish out of water. You're sort of like waking up in this world of like, what am I doing here? As you say, it's like you've got to push on through until you get to the Keanu Reeves part where they
Because
really
nothing was connecting, and now
exactly.
everything's connecting.
And then it makes sense of like you start to have that epiphany of going like, oh, now I get what this game is. So it's yeah, I remember that part, and I got to the part in Cyberpunk 2027 just a few hours after that. And then other things took my attention. So I need to go back and remind myself. But I remember that feeling of going, yes, this is great. So V, great character.
100%.
For me, the best character that I played as is Hazel from South of Midnight. I just remember, I just remember really loving her, and I thought she was well acted. I thought that she was, just really as a character brought the story to life. And I agree with you. I don't think the mechanics and stuff were the best in terms of gameplay, but that's not necessarily her fault as a
No.
character, right? So it's like,
I
yeah,
will tell
she
you
was
what
great.
is her fault as a character.
Oh, go on.
She'd be telling you what to do.
She, d-
You're trying to figure it out. She's like, "Oh, I wonder if I can go
yeah.
over there and do this." I'm like, "I was just about to figure
Oh,
this out."
does
Because
that
the
mean
hand,
you
remember?
can? Yeah.
That was my big complaint with that game. It was the hand
Mm-hmm.
holding.
Yeah. Oh,
But
for sure.
it's not
Totally.
Hazel's fault.
No.
Not the story's
Um,
fault.
Hazel very closely followed by a little what was his name? Tater Tot. What was his name? The
The
thing
voodoo
that she could
doll.
the voodoo doll. What was his name again? He was
Oh,
cute.
yeah, he was cute. I don't know. I'll
Um
look it up.
and then my other runner up was Esquier from Clair Obscure. Just Hey, the way he talked was really lovely. Cute guy. Big lump. Loved him. Okay.
I need to
Those are our
play that
best
game.
characters.
Crouton.
Best Crouton. Crouton. Justice for Crouton.
Justice for Crouton.
Okay. The next category on our list, working our way towards Game of the Year. This is number 4. Best story in a game. What was the best story in a game for you?
South of Midnight.
Me too. Yeah.
Best story. It
Hmm.
was either South of Midnight or Tunic, but the South of Midnight was just it was so good. I don't
Great.
know.
Yeah.
I'll always remember it.
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, we've talked enough about it. Yeah. And
Yeah,
that was one of the easiest choices on this list for me this year is straight away.
straight away.
Okay. Next one is the best control or mechanics in a game that you played this year. Go on, Mike. I bet I'm curious. I think we might have the same one this time.
What?
We maybe do. Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. So I have no idea what to choose. Actually, that's the
Oh,
problem.
right. Okay.
I was gonna be silly and be like Pokemon Emerald because all I have to do is literally move around and hit A.
That would be like simplest.
So yeah, simplest.
But that
Best
could be the best.
mechanics.
That could be best.
I don't know. I don't know. What did you think I would choose?
Mine, I chose Donkey Kong Bonanza because
Okay.
I just loved that feeling of like once you kind of like learned the way to smash. Because I remember when we were
Yeah,
talking about it, it was a little bit disorienting at first, but once I
was.
got my head around it, like it was just so fun, like pounding through those levels. He controlled like a dream. It was easy to get around. There
You're
was
right.
like it was just so fun to like you know bash the controller around. It was just great. I just thought the
Very
mechanics and the
rarely
world were really good.
Very rarely do I ever have a hard time with mechanics.
Mhm.
I would say when I was replaying, or playing Wind Waker, I had a hard time with those game mechanics.
Yeah,
So I would
okay.
say that was troubling for me. But yes, I agree. Donkey Kong Bonanza was just easy to play. It was so good.
Yeah.
What I was disoriented when I was going too far and like punching through,
Mhm.
like making tunnels and stuff.
Mhm,
But then
mhm.
once I realized, I was like, oh, hey man, I got this.
Yeah.
Just getting out
Uh-huh.
of here. So,
Yeah.
yes, I mean, yeah, I would say I'll agree with that. Yes, Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Yeah, great control and, good camera. It just all came together really well. The
Mhm.
only thing it took me it was probably, maybe like an hour into the game, but they moved the jump button again this time, so it was on the A button rather than the X button because X was up.
Oh, yeah.
Y was forward and B was down. So I mean, it made sense in
It made
terms of how they laid
sense.
it out. But then, like after
I remember talking about
reorienting,
that. I
like
was like, "I
yeah,
can't figure out
uh
anything."
huh.
So and then once you yeah. And then I switched to another game, like, "Crap, I have to relearn everything again."
Hmm. Well, yeah, because at the same time, I was playing a lot of. I was dipping back into the Zeldas on Switch 2, the Switch 2 editions, and jump is X on that one. So I was
Yeah.
having to like be like, oh shit, the bed.
Yeah.
Um, keep you on your toes. Okay. What was your best boss fight? This is the last category before we get to our game of the year. What was the best boss fight for you, Mike? You don't know?
The best boss fight. You know, I'm probably gonna so I really enjoyed King K. Rool in Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the many levels of the boss fight, like
Mhm.
all the different aspects, how you had to use everything you've learned throughout the whole game to defeat him, which I thought was really smart and
Yeah.
really well executed. However, I beat it in one go. Like I just didn't die. It wasn't challenging, and so the boss fight,
Cool.
although it was cool and engaging, I didn't find it challenging. It was kind of just easy,
Yeah.
and so, but Metro Prime 4
Mm.
had although the
Mhm.
game, like I said, it was kind of a letdown,
Yeah.
but it had some really good boss fights,
It
I
really did.
thought, and so it's between those 2. Yeah, either one's a winner for me.
You gotta make a choice, Mike. This is an award show. You
So I
have to
had a hard
choose.
time with the boss fights in Metroid Prime 4, but once I did it, it was so satisfying.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna
Yep.
say Metroid Prime 4. And
Okay.
not a
And
particular boss. I would say
no
maybe the
particular. Okay.
last 2, the last Griever and Silence.
Okay. Yeah, those were all. I think every boss in that game was fun. There was the only one I didn't like when we talked about it on our spoiler cast. So spoilers, if you still haven't played it, was well, I won't say anything. It was the one in the ice world. That was my least favorite boss, but
Mm.
still, every one of them, all the other ones were really, really good. And yeah, as you say, it was really satisfying to like beat them and the challenge of them, like really kind of overcoming it. For me, it was definitely King K. Rule. I just loved because it was the whole thing about it, right? It was the reveal. It
Hmm.
was the first part of going into the when you're sort of in the Banandium area down under the ground, then the whole epic bit of like flying back up to the surface, then getting to New Dong
Yeah,
City,
it was
and then all
good.
of that. It was just like kept going and going and going. And yes, it was on the easier side. I mean, I died a few times in the final like ring battle at the top of the building, um, but I kept smiling the whole time during the fight, and I just thought, "Oh my god, this is so fun."
Bonanza
And
was
it
never
was like,
frustrating for me,
no,
which was fun.
no,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, great boss fight, and what a cool way to like connect, Donkey Kong Country to,
Hmm.
and keeping that kind of under wraps the whole time. I mean, that was just a really great executed experience throughout the whole year. But yeah, great boss fight,
100%.
good stuff. Okay, so we're in the final category. We're going to say our games of the year. I've noted mine from 1 to 10. I think Mike, you have three. You have your three
I
finals
have
ones. Is
all
that
my
right?
games on here, but there's only like three that stand out for
Okay.
me.
So I'm going to just quickly fly through my
Okay.
10 to 4. And then when we get to 3, you tell me your third, and then I'll tell you my third, and then second, and then first. Got it.
I have four
So,
actually.
oh,
Sorry.
you have 4. So I'll do when I get to 4. Okay, cool. So for me, my top from 10 to 5, number 10 coming in last on the list was Clair Obscure. I know that was one that was like huge on everyone's list. I totally loved the story of it all. I just don't think I'm a JRPG gameplay person.
You
So
said it was just too much grinding at the end, towards the end or something.
yeah, it started to take away from me in that sense. I didn't feel the need to kind of get there, but fucking amazing game. Really beautiful story. I just and it deserves all
Yeah.
the wins that it gets, but just not
I'd
on
like
my
to. I
list.
really want to try. I know we're not trying. I'm trying to get through these lists, but I
Yeah.
really do want to play Clair Obscure because I feel like I would like the grind and like the
Okay.
battles because I enjoy Pokemon games, and I like to
Yeah.
sit there and I battle, 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 battle. So like a RPG like that with amazing graphics and stuff. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna give it a try.
Definitely. Yeah, you should. I'd be curious to hear your thoughts. Okay, number 9, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. Number 8, Blueprints. Number 7, Assassin's Creed Shadows. Number 6 is Tunic. And my number 5 game of the year for this year was Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. So that was my 10 to 5. So yeah, that's some fun games, man. What I mean,
Those are all great
any
games
games on that
you've
list, like you're gonna
named.
have a good time playing with it.
I want to know what your top
Um,
five is now,
well, we're
or
gonna
top
get there
four.
though. But
I
you
know.
want to start with your number 4 first, and then I'll do mine, and then
Yeah.
go for it. What's your number 4 on your
I've
game of the year
I've
list?
lost it.
Do you want me to do
Okay.
mine?
No,
Okay,
no, no. My
okay,
number 4 it's so hard. So my number 4 game of the year is gonna be South of Midnight.
okay, cool,
I really, like I said, enjoyed the story. It's a great game. I just yeah, it's just a good game. It's a good story.
cool. Yeah, for all the things we've said, great choice. Number 4 for me is Sword of the Sea.
Mm.
Talked ad nauseum about it. Play that game. If you are out there and you haven't played that game, play Sword of the Sea. Play it. Okay. What's your number 3 game of the year, Mike?
My number 3 game of the year is Tunic.
Okay. I love
I
it. So good.
love Tunic so much. I was able to figure out the super secrets, like the up, down, side, left, right, all these different little codes and stuff, and
Hmm.
putting the what's it called, the book together, your manual,
Instruction
the
booklet. Yeah.
instruction booklet together.
Yeah.
It was so satisfying, and I just
Yeah.
really enjoyed that gameplay. I just love that game. Has a special place in my heart.
Totally. Yeah, such a unique way to tell the story in a way that kind of like throws back to our childhood of instruction manuals, and then
Mhm.
also like that need of like just trust the player to discover these things.
Exactly.
Really cool. Yeah, agree with that. My number 3 game of the year is Donkey Kong Bonanza. Just absolutely loved it. I think when it comes to the 2 and my 2 and 1, in a minute that I share. I think this could have easily been in 1, 2, or 3, but I think ultimately the experience of playing Donkey Kong Bonanza is fantastic, but I haven't once I beat the boss, I haven't gone back into the world and I haven't really been thinking about it anymore. And
Mm.
that for me is the reason why it's number 3 rather than 2 and 1 and all. You'll see why when
Okay.
I share more. So yeah. Okay, what's your number
My
2
number
game of the year?
2 is Donkey
Yeah,
Kong Bonanza.
cool.
It's just a great game. I haven't gone back into it, although I may just kind of finish it, like 100% it and stuff like that. But
Mhm.
I don't know. I do. I just it was a great game, just for all the reasons you said as well.
Cool. My number 2, South of Midnight. And again, this could have been number 1, but I just adore that game. And again, please play South of Midnight. That's coming out on Switch 2 and PS5
Is
this
it?
coming year in 2026. So I think if you haven't played it yet because it's been locked on an Xbox, definitely, definitely check it out, everybody. I can't wait for more people to play that game.
It's
So
a great game.
yeah,
Yeah.
really good game. Okay. And Mike, what was your game of the year for 2025?
It's the game I keep going back into and I can't get away from. Story of Seasons. Just kidding.
Oh,
No, it's
oh
not.
no, that would have been a really good
I
one.
love Story of Seasons, and it's
Yeah.
on my list, but it didn't make any game.
Okay.
I mean, it's just the brainless work of Story of Seasons,
Yeah.
and that's why I like it.
Hmm.
But no, the best game I keep going back to, and I can't get
You
enough
really
of
had me there for a minute. I was like, oh, good. I'm sorry. Go on. I'm sorry. I keep
is
cutting you off. Go on.
Cyberpunk 2077. I can't
Awesome.
stop playing it, and
Sick.
I keep on. I'm at the point where it's like the point of no return. Once you do this, you have to finish this part before you can go back and
Hmm.
do all your missions and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no. So I'm trying to finish everything before I do this part, the point of no return. And because I don't want the game to end, even though I know I have the DLC for it and I'm going to
Yeah.
continue it. But I don't know. I'm just obsessed with this world. It's
Hmm.
crazy.
You know you can go and do the DLC before you have
I
to finish
can.
the
I
game,
know.
right? Like,
I
and
know.
they say it's really, really good. They say it's almost like the best part of that whole game. So
But that's why I want to finish the game first,
yeah,
like do
do
it
that thing first.
how it was originally intended, I guess.
Gotcha.
The DLC
Gotcha.
came out after, so.
Yeah. Um, I'm so glad that you found that game, Mike. And I mean,
And on
look,
Switch too. It's
it's
incredible.
but that's I think that's one of the gifts of the Switch too, is that, I think there's some people out there that go, "Oh, it's a port machine." Well, yes, that is true, but a lot of people don't have PCs. A lot of people don't have multiple consoles, and so the like more
And
that
some
these
people
kind of
always travel
games
and don't have time to be
exactly.
playing with their consoles at home,
Yeah, and I think it really
like flight
shows that
attendants.
if developers if developers take the time to do the best they can do to port these games to Switch 2 and make them good like Cyberpunk turned out to be, then people will show up and play it. And look, it found a new audience member here. Like you might not have played it if it weren't on Switch 2.
I
So, and it's your
100%
game of the
wouldn't
year.
probably
That's
wouldn't
your game
have.
of the year for
That's my
2025,
game of the
Mike.
year
That's
for
sick.
2077. I mean 2025.
Yes. Oh, I wonder if in 2077 that's going to be someone's game of the year. Huh.
Interesting. They might make a remake.
Blah, blah, my mind is melting. Okay. So for 2025, my game of the year goes to Star Wars Outlaws.
Oh,
I just it, there were aspects of this game that didn't don't that wouldn't make it like a perfect game for me, and it's by far a perfect game. But I think the overall experience I had of finally liking a Star Wars environment. Like I'm not a huge Star Wars
mm-hmm.
fan, but through Kay Vess's like journey that she goes on, and that you go
Well,
back
because
to
she's like a
certain
normal person in this
yes,
world,
she's
and
not a
that's probably
Jedi.
why
She's
you
just like
liked it.
I think so, yeah. And it was like because the world of Star Wars is cool. Like I love
Mm-hmm.
that sort of junk space kind of environment and all that kind of stuff. But they were brave. They went through a character. They went told the story through a character that nobody knows. It's a new character, and there's just so many different aspects of your relationship with Nyx your companion that you play through with, and all the kind of big set pieces from Star Wars films that you kind of come across, but don't overtake the story and make it feel like another Star Wars game. And then just the kind of walking around the different environments, the different cities, doing the side quests. I loved all the stuff with the factions where it's like, if you did one thing for one faction on a planet, it might hurt your reputation with another one. So you have to watch out.
Yeah.
They might be coming for you, but then you could go do other things and try and like rebalance all that. So I just thought there was a lot of a lot of really good gameplay experiences that kept drawing me back to it. Um, it wasn't overly complicated in terms of fighting and, challenges and stuff. So it just pulled me in a way that no other game pulled me in this year. And I think again, this one's now on the Switch too. And I really wished that it's not for everybody. I totally get why it's not for everybody. But I think if you stick with it, kind of like the point you made around Cyberpunk 2027, Mike, where it's like, you get to a point where you go, I understand what this game's doing. And I think it takes about getting off the first planet, which can take about 4 or 5 hours. So it's a big ask. But once you get off the first planet, I think you start to go, ooh, this has got a lot more depth and great story to it and great
Yeah, I
gameplay.
definitely do want to try it out.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think you
Give it
should,
a play.
give it, yeah, try it out on Switch too, because I've downloaded the demo and tried that out, and it ran really well. So,
Cool.
um, there you go. So that's our game of the year discussion. I like these categories. Let's keep them around for next year, Mike, and then maybe add a few more as we go, as we continue to like see what we like and stuff. Yeah, gamers and listeners out there, what
Can we
was
add
your
another
game?
quick category?
Go on, quick. Yeah, like
Most
coming in
annoying
hot.
game of the year.
Oh shit! Most annoying game
You
of the
know
year.
what it is. It's freaking Silk Song.
Oh.
Most annoying game for me. I hate that game.
The game that came out this year that I will never play, Silk Song. That's the award that goes to that one.
The game
I love
frustrated
it.
the crap out of me.
I haven't touched it yet, so I can't say, but yeah, I
Instant
get you.
uninstall.
Yeah.
It's not for me.
Well, great. Did you love Silk Song? Was it your game of the year, listener? Because if so, we want to know. We want to hear all the great stuff that you've been playing. Share your top 10 list. Share some of your same games that you would put in the categories that we talked about. Put those in the comments or email in, and we'll read those on a future episode. Yeah, and I love doing that, Mike. Thanks for talking about games of the list there.
Thank
The
you.
games of the year. And then for the rest of the episode, I just want to spend a little bit of time just reflecting on the year, Mike. The year in gaming, some of the big ticket news items that came through. And then also just do a little reflection. It's our first year of the podcast. I have some questions for you about what it's been like for you, and just doing a little micro
Didn't
interview.
prepare.
That's okay. Nothing to prepare. Nothing to prepare.
Gosh, I feel like I'm on Barbara Walters.
You Baba Wawa. Remember that?
Baba Wawa.
Baba Wawa.
Baba Wawa.
Barbara Walters. Wow. I am the
Difficult
poorest
questions.
substitute for a good, amazing journalist like Barbara Walters, but I'll do my best. Okay, yeah. So let's just go some of the major highlights and some of the big news that came out this
Major
year.
highlights this year. Switch 2 came out.
Switch 2 came out. That's right. Back in June. That's when it came out. And it's like the fastest selling game in US history, fastest selling system in US history, which is Coconuts. That's pretty awesome. But sidebar, this November was the worst selling month for console gaming since 1995. In general. Yeah, both in the US and the UK.
Interesting.
And I think that leads into another thing that's one of the big ticket items this year is just the cost of gaming has skyrocketed. We've seen that with,
and we ain't making more money.
We ain't making more money.
We ain't making money doing this.
Just every aspect of, like and subscribe and sign up to our Patreon and help us make some money, please. Hint. But no, it goes into the fact of like Game Pass raised its price like by substantially. So a lot of people like just dropped that service. So, this year, that whole sense of typically, console prices goes down, but man, they're just going up for all the reasons that we know from all the, stuff that we know. It's crazy. That's crazy. We finally got Metroid Prime 4 Beyond after however many years, 8 years of waiting.
It scratched an itch, but
definitely.
The itch is back.
Yeah. Out of nowhere, we had a little indie darling, Clair Obscure Expedition 33 take over the Game Awards and win the most Game Awards of any game in the history of the Game Awards. So the internet's kind of turning on it though now, Mike. Have you started to see that? There was, yes. So there was,
because who is really judging these games? you know?
Oh, well, there's that, but there's something else that happened recently. So, and this is such a non-issue. In the game, there was an art asset of like a pole or something that had AI generated kind of graphics that were technically supposed to be placeholders, but
And they kept it.
they kept it. They forgot to put the other assets on there, and so some people found it and they were like, "It uses AI generated art. We can't like that game. It's destroying the game industry." And it's like, oh my god, do you know how hard it is to build a game? And like they didn't everything else about the game, and you're going to focus on that. So there's some people being like, "It doesn't deserve all the awards." Oh, shut the fuck up. Um,
Yeah, whatever.
that's what I say. What else from this year? We finally got your favorite game, Hollow Knight, as we talked about. The
Silk
game that
Song.
yeah, Hollow Knight Silk Song. The game that everybody kept wanting to come out.
It shut down the internet or
Shut it down.
the what's it called? The shop, the store,
Yep, it did.
eShop.
It did. It did. And we saw throughout the year more and more games from Xbox are moving over to PlayStation. So basically, Xbox becoming a third-party, publisher and not even caring about their own system.
Mm,
I'm curious to see how that pans out in the coming future. We can see the writing on the wall for that one. And speaking of consoles, we got the announcement of the Poop machine, the Steam machine. You remember that?
yes. And it's gonna be spenny apparently.
Well, yeah. I mean, I was listening to an episode of Digital Foundry. If you don't know about them, listeners, they're great, but they get into like super technical conversations about gaming. And they were talking about how it could have been there couldn't have been a worse time for Steam to announce this console because they are the price of RAM has just shot up because
Mm,
everyone's buying it for AI uh, places where they have all the places
yeah.
computers that do the AI, and so it's like it's quadrupled in price overnight, and so they're going to be like, oh sugar, they've just announced something. And they can't say the price because they don't know how it's going to be affected by the RAM. So watch this space.
It was already gonna be expensive, but they're
Yeah.
thinking because when they said, "We're pricing it just like a PC," I'm like, "But it
Mm-hmm.
can't do all the things a PC." It can, but it can't at the same time. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's not a PC. So,
Yeah.
like, don't.
Yeah.
People aren't buying it to be a PC.
It's I we've said when on the episode where we talked about it, it's exactly for someone like me because I don't want to think about building a PC. If they can get it to where I can finally get into the Steam ecosystem, that's probably something I'm going to do this year, coming up in 2026. And just have it a box set next to my TV and connected there, then I'm in. That's exactly what I need. But I'm also like,
Not gonna
I'm
spend a
not
lot of
going to
money.
drop that much money on it because I've, like we said on this episode, I've got all these games that I can play that I do not
Yeah.
need to be spending money on. So interesting times,
What
but
else
it's going to
happened this
sell.
year?
What else
Donkey
happened this
Kong
year?
Bonanza.
Donkey Kong
It's been a
Bonanza.
great year for Switch, but it's also
Mm-hmm.
been I feel like it's been a slow year for the Switch as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
been slow and steady. I think next year is gonna be, like you say, coconuts.
Yes, I think so. It's when you look at the whole of the Switch 2's library this year, like from, first party output to third party, it's had a lot of consistency, but there hasn't been that one big one. Even Donkey Kong
Yeah.
Bonanza was really big and it was the biggest one, but it didn't really take over like a Mario does or whatever.
Yeah.
But like for the most part, minus Mario Kart World, everything's been a really solid gaming experience on the Switch 2. They've had a brilliant year
Mhm.
with consistent releases. And then when you compare that to something like PlayStation 5, it has had such a like up and down year of like no really big first party releases. Nothing that is like beyond Ghost of Yote that came out last month. Like, but it still continues to sell and sell and sell. So it's just such a strange thing for PlayStation 5. They're trying to pivot away from the strategy that they were going to go into live service games and shooters. We saw what happened with Concord last year, just died a death. Um yeah, so now they're that gap they're trying to fill where Nintendo's been able to be really consistent and we've seen Xbox go, we're going to be third party now. So
Yeah.
yeah, great one. Yeah, interesting year for that. A couple more things to round out. Obviously, GTA 6 was delayed till 2026. That's always a big news story. I'm GTA curious. I've never played one. Maybe I'll check one out this year. Who knows? Yeah, those are kind of the big things from if you look back over the year. Anything we haven't talked about, Mike, that we should have that you
I don't know.
remember?
I think we hit pretty much everything.
Yeah,
I mean, nothing that major, I guess.
yeah.
And that we just hit all the major points.
I think one other I mean, this not really in my world, but, there it's just interesting from a sector perspective, that the big tentpole that everybody knows is gonna sell the most games this year, Call of Duty Black Ops 7, bombed, but then Battlefield did really well, Battlefield 6, so it's interesting just to see those 2 jockey for, like, war simulator or,
Yeah,
player versus player game or whatever. Um
I don't like those.
I don't like him either. I never really play him. So, uh, yeah, great year in gaming. But probably the most important news or the biggest thing that happened this year is Out of Sync Gaming officially started in
Yay!
March. Um, so yeah, we launched in March, Mike, and I have a few questions for you, but I just wanted to take a few minutes as we round out the end of this year and just reflect on what it's been like starting a podcast, doing this channel, things we've learned, things we have grown, and what we're looking forward to. So the first thing is we fucking did it, Mike. We made it to the end of this year. Good for us. That's
Woohoo!
amazing.
We did.
Let's self congratulate
Congratulations.
ourselves.
Self-congratulate.
Absolutely. But also thank you listeners and subscribers for joining us along this year. It is great to have you. We do it for you all. So, really, really pleased that you're liking it. You're engaging with us in the
That you're
comments. You're
liking it,
sharing your
that you're
thoughts.
subscribing it.
That's it. All of those things. So yeah, really appreciate you all doing that. That's why we do it. Um, Mike, thinking about you know, going on starting a podcast, right? Jumping into it. This is neither of us had ever done this before in this way. So what's for you, Mike? What's been your biggest learning curve this year when you think about jumping in to the deep end of out of sync gaming?
Uh, I mean, my learning cur I mean, I love gaming, so that part was the easy part.
Hmm.
The I guess my learning curve would be just learning how to speak, have a conversation. I mean, we're just having a conversation, right? But I
Yeah.
guess it was just a little nervous, and I was a little when first few episodes I look back at, it was hard to, like, just kinda figure out what I wanted to say and how I wanted to say it. And I
Hmm.
didn't like listening to my own voice, and I had all these nerves, but now I'm like, I still don't like listening to myself, but I'm comfortable hearing myself now, so that's cool.
Mm.
It doesn't bug me like it used to. It used to give me cringe, and now I don't care.
That's good to hear because I think I love what you have to say, and I
Not what I have
think
to say, just hearing the sound of my own voice.
well, yes, I get that. Like, I think because I have a history in acting and all that stuff, I'm sort of I identify with that, but I've kind of gotten used to it, right?
Evolved.
Evolved, but I'm talking about more about like what you have to say and how you have to say it because I think
Mhm.
it is a learning curve, right? How do we talk about stuff that's not only interesting for us to talk about because the reason we're doing this is just because we love talking about games and it's a good way to kind of funnel our creativity into some productive output. But also, we want people to like what we're talking about. So the more and more we just want to get better at it and improve. And I definitely can see the difference between when we first started to where we are now. I think it's
Yeah,
definitely that's yeah, definitely a learning curve. You're right, but it's been good. And yeah, kudos, Mike. You're doing a great job. Love it. Um,
ditto.
eh, what's been your favorite part of starting the podcast?
Um, I don't know. My favorite part is that's a hard one. I guess I enjoy the whole process. Like, I love editing, video editing. I like gadgets. I like cameras. I like lighting. Just the
Mhm.
whole. Enjoy the process of it all, and not just that. Like I said, it makes me want to. I have to now dig into my backlog or into games I would never
Mhm.
have played, and now I'm playing some. So
Mhm.
those are the two aspects I have really
Yeah.
enjoyed.
Yeah, and really love the fact that you have a much better, like, sense of, like, good editorial content editing, like you're better at going like, "Oh, let's cut this out or let's add this in or let's try and do this and that stuff." So it's really helped me think about, not only how we structure the shows or how we engage with them and kind of, you know, it helps me think about it in a different way. So I love you bringing that energy into it, and it's just, yeah, we play to our strengths, right? And I think that's
Hmm.
a really good strength of yours. I think for me, it's been um, just in terms of starting it, it's just been because it's something that I would like think about quite a lot on walks over the last couple of years. I was like, "Oh, I'd really like to do that. I'd really like to do that." And then it was one of the podcasts that I still listen to and I contribute to and I support, this Nintendo Life. They had reached their 10-year um uh like reflections on
Wow.
doing podcasting for 10 years. And I'd been following them for probably 9 or almost all pretty much all 10 years. And then I thought, and one of the things they said at the end, they were like, "And if anybody's out there listening, just do it. Just do it." And I was like, "Do you know what? We just need to do it. It's just time."
Yeah.
And I
And
think
as
that's
soon
the
as we
message,
decided to do it, like, literally, like, we started the day after
Yeah,
or like 2 days. It was like we didn't need anything. We just started on our cell phones, whatever.
exactly. Yeah. So I think that's been my favorite part. And then as the second sort of cheating second part is it's allowed me to re-love my hobby for gaming because I love analyzing things and being critical about stuff because I think it's a really it's just part of how my brain works. I love to kind of break things down, and this has really funneled that ability for gaming to just not be a passive thing where I just sit down and play the game and then move on. It makes me think about why I'm gaming and how I'm enjoying it and stuff like that. So it's really elevating that experience for me. So
Awesome.
okay, a few more questions, Mike. What's been your favorite podcast to record? What's been your favorite episode to record?
I think, and it hasn't got a lot of views, but I really enjoyed recording our arcade, just going down the memory lane and
Yes.
playing arcade games, like putt-putt golfing games, going to
Mhm.
old arcades. That was one of my favorite episodes to record.
Yeah,
It
I
was
I
just
would
fun talking about it.
it was. That was pure nostalgia for our
Yes.
lives, and you're right, that was a great connection of, like, our gaming past being able to inform who we are now and then, like, just reliving it. It's been my favorite episode too, hands down.
Yeah,
I
and your
loved it,
peeing your
loved
pants
it.
story.
I peed my pants. Yeah. So if you want to know why I peed my pants playing video games, listeners, please go back and watch that episode so you can discover that bit of info, I guess. Great. Um, uh, two more questions. What are you most proud of when you reflect on this year?
What am I most proud of?
With the podcast, yeah.
Hmm. What am I most proud of? I'm proud of, being consistent and actually, like, following through with my word that I would record every week with you,
Hmm.
and it's keeping on schedule and being great partners and, yeah, and not letting each other down, and that we
Hmm.
literally have really good we work together well, and when we say we're gonna do something or we need to reschedule, we're very flexible but we always get it done.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's a really nice answer. Mine wasn't that nice, but that's
How
really
dare you?
thoughtful and lovely and amazing. Yeah, I would echo all of those things. Yes, I think definitely, and that can exist along with this. I'm really proud that we have been our authentic selves throughout the podcast, and really, allowing the community to kind of hear who we are and bring our lived experience into how we talk about games and gaming. I think, the more we can amplify LGBTQI plus voices in gaming, not shy away from, just the fact that who we are and how we behave is very much like on this podcast is how we behave in real life. And I think that's a real powerful thing that I'm really proud of that we just kind of keep bringing that here, because I think that's just important, right? To not try and
Yeah,
put
there's
on a
no show
show,
here.
right?
What you see is what
Exactly.
you get.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm really a
So
bitch sometimes, I promise. I do hate Silk Song.
such a bitch, Mike. You're
I
such a
am. I'm
bitch.
so mean to this one over here.
And then, what do you want when you think about the future? What do you want to improve upon as we grow in the podcast?
Hmm. I don't know. That's a hard one. What do I wanna improve upon? I mean, what I just want to continue our consistency, and
Mhm.
I would like to improve on making additional content. I know like some content that I've been doing like on my own, like the little extra side things, technical things, or VR or
Mhm.
whatever. I'd like to post more gameplay of VR. I need to get into more VR again because I just have that.
Cool.
It's just sitting there. I need to pick it back up.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, just post maybe like posting more just gameplay and my little like tweaking things like I always do, and just getting into like little fun little side bits of
Mhm.
it's more like out of not necessarily podcasting, just other things in the gaming industry.
Yeah. So, using this as the kind of where we check in about all the stuff in the games we're playing, but then allowing yourself to grow and kind of create more side content around those
Mhm.
games and, put maybe sort of, little micro experiences together or whatever it is about stuff that you're doing. Yeah. Love that. I would say for me, the, the, the thing I want to grow into, it's less about improve upon. I mean, I think you and I are always talking about like, oh, let's try this or let's do that or let's do this. And I think that's really great. I want us to keep doing that. I think if there was a thing that I think would help improve not only the channel itself, I think it's very much like doing like video reviews of games that we're playing. So I know we talk about them, but I'd love to do sort of more as I'm playing, I can now capture footage. I've got my capture card, and then just do like more analytical video reviews of games that are
Yeah,
maybe like 10-15 minutes.
like how
That
IGN does it and
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, exactly.
Nintendo Life or whatever.
Yeah, probably not too far off from what you were talking about, but just how do we continue to leverage the fun joy that we have from
Yeah,
doing this, but
both
then
our takes because
exactly.
our voices matter.
Our voices matter, they do. And it just
Statistically driven stats.
100%. So yeah, doing that, and then I think just to that's my last question, Mike. But just thank you so much for making this year happen. It's been really awesome. And then is a cheat. I want to continue to grow the website a little bit more and see how we can kind of keep driving some traffic there and making that a sort of addendum to this stuff that people can go and get some more out of sync connection
Nice.
to if they want. So um great. Well, that is about all we have for this episode. If you have been tuning in and you have your list of games of the year, please do share them in the comments. What's been your favorite gaming experiences throughout 2025? It can be any game that came out. It doesn't have to be just games from this year. Do you want to share your thoughts and comments on our game list that we just had? We just ran through. You can share those in the comments, or you can email us at gamers@outofsyncgaming.co.uk. That's gamers@outofsyncgaming.co.uk. Yeah, share your list of games that you played in 2025 that you love. Share some thoughts on what you'd like us to improve upon with the podcast, new segments, new ideas that you'd love us to explore, games you'd like us to review. We'd happily read those on the upcoming episode and think about how we build that into our content planning. Um,
Totally.
yeah. To all of those listening, I don't know when this is going out, but it might go out before Christmas. It might go out after, but whatever you're celebrating this holiday season, have the best time with your friends, with your family, with your loved ones, having some time on your own because it's been such a crazy busy year or whatever. But just best wishes to all of that and happy gaming if you
Yes.
get some downtime. And here's to a really awesome 2026. And
Heck
we've
yeah.
got a
Merry Christmas Kwanzaa and
yes, I
and
love it.
Happy New Year.
All of that. And I guess until next time.
Wait, you can check us out on social media at Out of Sync Gaming on TikTok and Instagram, Blue Sky, Discord. We plan on growing those a lot more in the coming year. And
Mhm.
also like and subscribe before you go. Thanks again for
Definitely.
watching.
And until next time,
Play what you want to.
bye everyone.
Bye.